Welcome to Pastor's Chat today. Well, this week we're looking at Passion Week. We're thinking about and meditating on what happened the week Jesus was crucified. It's called Passion Week, or the week of his suffering. And after his passion, Jesus showed himself alive to his disciples by many infallible proofs. And so it was called the week of his suffering. He went to a cross and suffered and died for us. Now, we pretty sure on Sunday, as we study through the gospel accounts, that was when Jesus made his triumphant entry into the city of Jerusalem. And the crowds cried, "Hosanna, save us, save us." They cried, "Save us now." And mainly they were crying for salvation from the Roman rule over them. They wanted an outward salvation, but they neglected to know that they needed an inward salvation, spiritual salvation, that only Jesus Christ, the Messiah, could give them. And so that's on Sunday. And on Monday, Jesus is going back and forth the 2 miles to Bethany, where he's probably staying with his disciples at the home of Lazarus and Martha and Mary. And every day he seemingly, as we study the scriptures, is making a 2-mile trek back to Jerusalem, back to Bethany to spend the night, and then going back. And on Monday, Jesus goes back to Jerusalem and there curses the fig tree and also cleanses the temple. On Tuesday, he goes back and forth again with his disciples, and we talked about yesterday, he then confronts the Sadducees and the Pharisees with their hypocrisy. Matthew 23, he gives a scathing message about how that they are a bunch of hypocrites. And then chapter 24 and 25, the Mount Olivet discourse, where he talks about things to come, in 25, where he talks about some of the end time parables of the virgins, and of course the goats and the sheep being separated and so forth. Now on Wednesday, most of the scholars believe that it was Silent Wednesday. They call it Silent Wednesday because there's not a lot recorded about what takes place on Wednesday. The one event that takes place that they all seem to agree upon is the fact that Judas Iscariot, he betrays Jesus in Luke chapter 22. Let me read it. Now the Feast of Unleavened Bread drew near, which is called Passover. This is Luke 22, verse 1 through 5. And the chief priests and the scribes sought how they might kill him, Jesus, for they feared the people. Then Satan entered Judas, named Iscariot, who was numbered with the 12. So he went his way and conferred with the chief priests and captains how he might betray him to them. And they were glad and agreed to give him money. And so he promised and sought the opportunity to betray him, Jesus, to those in the absence of the multitude. And so Judas, it tells us he betrays Jesus in the Gospel of Matthew for 30 pieces of silver, which is fulfilling the prophecy in Zechariah chapter 11, verses 12 and 13, that Jesus would be betrayed and a potter's field would be bought with the money eventually for 30 pieces of silver. What a sad commentary on the fact that someone who was so close to Jesus would seek opportunity for the sake of money, for control, and just maybe for envy and who knows what else, because maybe he is so disappointed that Jesus is talking about being crucified, going to a cross and dying, and he's thought all this time that Jesus was going to conquer the Romans and set the people of Israel free, and he would be in a position of power. And when he sees that slipping through his hands, he gets what he can out of it. How sad that so many people today are just living for life to get what they can out of it. But as we said, this is called Silent Wednesday. Maybe Jesus that day went away and spent time with his Father, his Abba Father, and prepared himself as a day of silence. Maybe this could be a day that you take time to be silent before the Lord. Seek him. Be still and know that I'm God. And ask him, is there anything in my life that betrays you or denies you, Lord? I want to live for you. I want to give you my all. What a wonderful day in preparation as we look forward to the resurrection of Jesus Christ on Sunday. God bless. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.